What's going on, Facebook? I am coming to you live from New York City in Times Square. As always, as you jump on, hit the share button. The more people you share this to, the more people see it, etc., etc. Also, I want to remind you that today is the last day to sign up for the discounted rate of my new show, Rant Nation, on CRTV. Go to crtv.com/rant. You get the entire CRTV network plus my show for $79 for the entire year. So, I just got done. Why am I in New York? A bunch of people are probably wondering. I just got done doing my Fox and Friends segment, and we started talking about some interesting things. Most importantly, we started talking about the March for Our Lives thing this past weekend and all the above. Continue to hit the share button, guys. Right now, we're coming from you live from Times Square. This is something that really needs to be important. So around all these people here in New York, I've got a couple things to say. So the March for Our Lives happened this past weekend, and you heard the Parkland survivors, you heard the Parkland survivors that are against gun control speak anyway. And you heard all the talks about how we need gun control and we need this and we need that. And then something very, very particular happened when retired Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens comes out and says that the thing that the March for Our Lives Parkland survivors should be pulling for is the total repeal of the Second Amendment. Now, I think I speak for most people when I say, are you crazy? Do you have any idea how horrible of an idea that is? One, because that is our freedoms, period. And I've said it once and I've said it again. Our rights and our freedoms as Americans are not up for debate and for discussion, period. The second that you start entertaining any kind of conversation like that, you are losing the battle that is our rights. That an estimated 1.3 million veterans have lost their lives defending your right to have the freedom to bear arms and protect you and your family. To totally and completely talk about repealing the Second Amendment, let's look at it let's not talk to you guys from the aspect of the pro-gun aspect. Let's talk to you guys from the aspect of the anti-gun aspect. So most anti-gun activists hate Donald Trump. So if you were to completely and totally get rid of guns, then what you would be doing is you would actually be giving Donald Trump more power, because then he wouldn't have an armed population in which he is president over, to where if things got really out of control, people could actually do something about it. This is a very slippery slope, and I think that people have lost the ability to remember that the reason that the Second Amendment is here in the first place is because it is for a worst case scenario on what if one day the government no longer has your needs, your points of view, my needs, my points of view, everything. What if one day the government is not for us and they try to tell us something that they want us to do, or that they want you to do or me to do, but then we no longer have any way or any means to defend ourselves and to simply say no? It's something to think about. In fact, it's something so incredibly vital that we are on the cusp of a huge shift within our society. 3.4 thousand people are watching this right now. Hit the share button right this second, because I'm really fixing to say the final point to all of this. To start the conversation about some rights and some freedoms being up for debate, you open up the door for every right and every freedom being up for debate. Like I said in the last video, if you talk about the fact that the Founding Fathers never thought that there would be automatic weapons, or that there would be semi-automatic weapons, or as the political lie would like to say, full semi-automatic weapons, that is a complete made-up term, then you truly must think that the Founding Fathers are actually kind of stupid, that they never would have thought that there would be an advance in technology, that there never would be an advance in anything. But then that opens up the door to the First Amendment. Well, surely this very thing that I'm talking to you right now, there's 3.7 thousand people watching this. Who knew that one day every American would have the opportunity to open their mouth and millions of people hear what they have to say? Because the Founding Fathers surely didn't mean, when they said freedom of speech, that they surely didn't know that we would have newspapers and internet and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and vlogs and blogs and mass distributions of information at one time. Surely they didn't know that. Something to think about, right? Right? It opens the door to everything. We talked on Fox and Friends about the age limit wanting to be changed from 21 or from 18 to 21 to buy a rifle now. Well, if you're old enough to go fight and die for your country at a much higher capacity rifle than what we're even talking about, what we're able to buy in the stores, 4.6 thousand people, continue to hit the share button, then when are we going to have the conversation, and when are we going to have the open discussions? When is it going to happen that they're going to say, well, maybe 18 is too young to vote? But then what age is old enough to vote? What age is old enough for you to have a true and open opinion about anything? This is the world that we're living in right now, and this is the world in America that we're living in. Places like this and people in places like this want you to believe that the only way for you to be safe is for your guns to be taken away. Do you realize how crazy that sounds? Let me say it one more time for those people in the back. People in the mainstream media want you to believe that the only way that you're really going to be safe and the only way that we can really protect our families and our children is to have your weapons taken away. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm here in New York and they're bustling things here. So anyway, at the end of the day, it goes down like this. Facebook censors us. Instagram censors people. Mainstream media sources are biased in their opinions and don't lead to the real truth of the real issues. And the only people that get a voice on mainstream media in the first place is the 10% of America that believes a certain way, that we should get rid of guns and that we should have more government and more control and more this and more that. But the other 80 plus or 90 plus % of America that actually believes that we should have less government and we should be able to keep our guns and we should be able to live the way we want to live and believe the way we want to believe, their voices are never heard. So that's the whole point behind my new show coming out, and the whole purpose behind me teaming up with CRTV in the first place is to actually take the argument and take the fight in the right direction and the right way that it's actually supposed to be, with no worries about Facebook censoring us because I'm talking about guns, with no worries about mainstream media and what they have to say. There is a moment coming. Listen to me very closely, guys, and this is not a doomsday thing. This is a real thing. 5.6 thousand people watching. Share this right now because this is the main part. If the conversation comes to truly want to repeal the Second Amendment, not only will you empower the NRA more than they already are, because you're going to force law-abiding, gun-owning citizens to go join the NRA and make them more powerful than they already are, you're also going to have a civil war on your hands. Period. And that's all there is to it. Guys, as always, thank you for listening. I'm live here in New York on location shooting for my new show, Rant Nation. The final thing, the final day for you to get the pre-order sale is tonight. crtv.com/rant. You get not only my show, but Phil Robertson, Louder with Crowder, excuse me, and then Mark Levin, the great one, among many others. $79 for the entire year. Come see me on Rant Nation and let's talk about some stuff. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.